We're going to talk to Major Paul DeFazio, who works at the Suffolk County House of Correction, who's an extraordinary, once again, public servant like the two gentlemen in the first half hour of the program. But there's a nice twist here. What Paul and his brother have done is they've actually written a book that he'll explain to you more, but it's a really good book, very entertaining, and there's a possibility that that book may be made into a movie at some point in the next couple of years. And you've noticed there are a number of crews around throughout the city of Boston and maybe throughout the state filming movies, and so this is a hotbed for movie production. As I was teasing Paul before we came on the air, I guess in the next 2-3 years, he'll be in Hollywood. He'll be a big, fat cat. We'll see his name on TV, and hopefully he'll remember the small people when he's up there. With that said, Paul, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Glad to have you.
Appreciate you having me.
So listen, tell us about the inspiration. Well, first and foremost, the book is called Pros and Cons.
Pros and Cons.
Tell us what the book is about, and then what was the inspiration for writing the book?
Well, the book is it's a criminal thriller. It's not a who's done it, so to speak. It's more of a who's gonna do it. You run through this story with the characters from page one to the end, and I believe that what's different about this book than your usual crime thriller is it takes you places that most people don't go. We all get the cops and the robbers in the courtroom scenes, and then they just kind of leave it at that. This book takes you to inside prisons. It takes you into gangs. It takes you to brothels. It takes you places, as one of the reviewers of our book said, it takes you places you probably shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. As far as the inspiration of the book, I like to joke about it and say it was therapy. After 26 years in corrections, you need an outlet. And my brother and I, and my brother's a former Air Force airman, and I was former Army. That, along with our careers for the last 20 some odd years, he works international business and I've been inside prisons. We thought we had a lot of stories. The thing was how do you get those stories and put them all together? And it wasn't always easy because he lives in Florida and I'm up here in the Boston area. And so it was done via computer and phone. And trying to get two people who, we were brothers. I mean, we still punch each other in the head any chance we get. So it wasn't always easy, but it was great. It was a great project to do together. It was a great collaboration because my brother and I are night and day. And I think that really benefited the storyline and the characters in the book. It wasn't just what I thought about a character or how that character should react, or it wasn't my particular viewpoint, say, on how people come to prison or how they're treated in prison or the law itself. It was a combination. And I really do believe that it made the characters multidimensional and far more interesting.
Well, let me ask you this. You work in the corrections industry. Your brother does not.
Correct.
What is it that he brought? What was his special talent that he brought to the writing of this book?
Well, first off, the storyline is probably maybe a third of the book is inside the prison wall. And the rest of it is just good storytelling. And we go to the Dominican Republic, and my brother brings an element of storyline there that most people don't know about. And it's a little twist of the storyline.
Because of time that he spent down there?
And not just there. Europe, it takes you to Europe. So we do bring some of our former military experiences into this book. But also, I think the contribution that my brother made that I think was paramount was he kept me on the track of writing this so that anyone who was not in the business could read it and understand it. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get around corrections people or cops or district attorneys, you start using lingo that you don't even realize, and people looking at you like, what?
Right. There's a shorthand that you have there that people may not understand.
So he kept me honest there, and kept the thing that we really wanted to do is we knew we had a really exciting story. And we had some great characters that we could draw on through our lives that we could pull. And we made sure that no character was a Steve Tompkins, for instance. We might take a part of Steve Tompkins and then another part of somebody else and create that character. But what we were able to do was to keep the storyline moving and keep it real. We did not want this story and subsequently, hopefully, the movie that we have, in fact, contracted with a production company we're really excited about.
That's nice.
The important thing is you don't have to make stuff up in this business. You don't have to go Hollywood and get some sensational ending where, hey, I'm not sure how to end it, let's just shoot everybody. You don't have to have that. You can keep a story very true to life, very real, and still grab people, grab their heart, grab them by the throat, and leave you at the end of this book and hopefully at the end of the movie just saying, wow, that was great.
Clearly, we don't want to give the movie away. I'm sorry, give the book away. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But for viewers who haven't picked up the book yet, give us a little taste of what the book is about. What is the story about?
Sure. The story has, it pretty much revolves around four major characters. Two of them are Joe and Frank Milano. Joe Milano was a Boston police detective with the drug unit. His younger cousin is a correction officer who works in a fictional Boston prison. The two of them, their relationship is an essential part of the story. We also have two other gentlemen in the story. They're both have both emigrated from the Dominican Republic, Alex Ortiz and Miguel Machado. Alex Ortiz, Miguel, they're both family men trying to live this American dream, just like Frank and Joe. They're family men. They want the best for their family. They've both gone about trying to attain that in different ways. One legally, one not so legally.
Right.
They both end up in Frank's prison. One of them through Joe arresting him. One of the gentlemen, Miguel, he just got caught up in the immigration net, but he's still thrown in there with the people who are doing bad things.
Right, right.
And then all the fun starts happening. And
so now, do these four characters throughout the book, is there some connection between all four of them as
Absolutely.
you go through the entire book?
Absolutely, and it not only does it draw the four of them together and into situations, but like in reality, nobody goes to prison by themselves. Their families end up being part of this problem and this situation too. So I think what the readers of this book will understand also is that they're going to get a shot of or a look at what really happens when somebody goes to prison. Because usually you just hear good, they deserve it, let's throw away the key, let's forget about it. They don't realize that there are human beings affected by that. That didn't do anything wrong. Family members, children. So I think that this book, I know that this book brings a human element to everybody. We don't get up on soapboxes and take stands and try to be advocates for one or another. We show you multiple sides of bad situations and let the reader figure it out. And the truth of the matter is, not everyone that goes to jail is bad. Sometimes bad things happen to good people.